The Venom film series is really interesting. No one seems to really talk about it much. And the first two films, Venom and Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, they were both hated by the critics. Plus, the superhero movie genre has, for the most part, lost its luster with fans. We've had way more flops than hits the past several years. Yet, despite this, the first two films in this franchise have made a combined $1.4 billion. Now, neither of these films are earth-shattering cinematic masterpieces, but I would say that they are at least entertaining and fun. And with the success of the first two, and the almost pathological desire of Hollywood to turn everything into a trilogy, a third movie was assured, and that film, Venom 3 The Last Dance, came out this weekend, once again to poor reviews. So what do we have here? Can Venom The Last Dance continue to buck the trend for this series, somehow being a fun and successful film, despite poor critic scores and a public that has really begun to turn away from the genre? Or has this improbable successful series finally run out of gas? Well, before we answer that, let's talk a little bit about the plot for the movie Venom The Last Dance.
Let's talk.
So picking up where the last movie led off, Eddie and the Venom symbiote are drunk in a bar in Mexico. They're still on the run after their recent battle with Carnage. The murder of Patrick Mulligan from this last movie makes international headlines, with Eddie being named as the prime suspect, forcing him to set out to New York City in an attempt to clear his name. Now, not known to either of them, a creature known as the Xenophage has begun tracking Eddie and Venom. Also, the recent events catch the attention of Rex Strickland, a soldier who oversees Imperium, a government operation at the site of the soon-to-be decommissioned Area 51, for the capture and the study of symbiotes that have fallen to Earth. Mulligan, revealed to have survived his encounter with Carnage, is captured after being left for dead by another symbiote who eluded Eddie and Strickland. He is bonded with one of many contained symbiotes and questioned by Imperium researcher Dr. Teddy Payne and Dr. Sadie Christmas to learn about the symbiote's purpose on Earth before Strickland is ordered to bring Venom down. Now on the run, Eddie, Brock, and Venom must make a devastating decision as they are pursued by a mysterious military man and alien monsters from Venom's home world. So what works in this film? Well, what carried the first two movies for me was the performance of Tom Hardy, which is again a plus here. I'm a fan of his, and I enjoy him playing Eddie and voicing Venom. He once again does a great job playing both Eddie as the reluctant anti-hero and Venom as the wild card symbiote. There was a lot of humorous back and forth between the two of them, and it really helped carry the first two movies, and we find it here again. Also, the CGI in this film, it's really strong. Now, we've seen a lot of poor CGIs recently, especially in the superhero genre, but here, I think it's pretty well done. Finally, I really enjoyed the last part of this film. The final big battle, all these movies have a final big battle. It's a really good combination of CGI and practical effects. And without spoiling the movie, it has an honest-to-God emotional and heartfelt ending that is not over the top and really works. What doesn't work here is, well, if you look past the great performance of Hardy, the good special effects, the solid fight scenes, you really don't have the strongest of stories. It's a little silly, it's a bit over the top, and a lot of stuff just kind of happens to move the plot along. There are also several instances where Eddie/Venom just so happen to run across someone or something that is very convenient to help them. Again, no spoilers here, but they're in Las Vegas and they just so happen to run into a significant character from the first two movies in a random casino. It's a bit too convenient, I would say. And finally, the big villain in this film is weak. There's supposed to be this, big bad villain that's gonna destroy the world, kill everybody, but there's really never conflict between him and Venom. All we ever do is see him locked up in a different dimension growling and yelling.
This was not at all scary.
But you know what? What the hell? This isn't a great film. But neither were the first two. It is fun, however. I would compare this movie, and really this entire series in general, to fast food. You're hungry, so you get it. You eat it. You enjoy it while you eat it. And then you kind of forget about it and move on to something else. It's not a memorable movie. It's not awful. It doesn't make you hate yourself for seeing it. And you will enjoy it while you're watching it. So, if you enjoyed the first two, you're going to enjoy this one. It's pretty much more of the same, and I guess that's okay. There are much worse ways to spend an hour and 45 minutes. And I would say if you haven't seen any of these films, well, you're not missing much. If you are in the mood for just some simple, mindless superhero entertainment that will give you a few laughs with solid special effects and pretty good acting, and a decent, if somewhat convoluted and silly story, then check out the Venom films. Check out this film. I think you might enjoy it.
Let's check it out.
Well, that's it for me this week. Tune in next week where I give you my thoughts and feelings on whatever I've seen. In the meantime, click that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share this video with friends and enemies alike, and as always, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.